Hello and welcome back to Queen's Kitchen. I am Regan Queen with Elite Realty Professionals Group. And today we are making one of my favorites, the creamy white bean chicken enchilada soup. Seriously, what better way to kick off the fall season with a super warm soup? I know some of you are at least a couple football people, or you at least love fall. Alrighty guys, we are gonna start by just turning on our stove top, our cooktop here. We're gonna heat up some garlic and oil, and we're gonna kick this off. I am gonna put some of my oil in here. And for this recipe, we need to go ahead and add 2 cloves of garlic. So if you're like me, I actually already have it minced, and I wanna go ahead and just add what's a teaspoon or 2 half teaspoons to be equivalent. I'm gonna go ahead and grab one of my spatulas here, and we're just gonna go ahead and get this going. Turn on my light so we can see better. And as soon as we get this heated up with the garlic, we're gonna throw in our white onion or onion of your choice, just because we wanna make sure that that's good and cooked before we add anything else to the roux. All right, my oil is hot and ready, so I'm gonna toss in my onion. Set this aside. I'm going to turn down the heat just a little bit because I don't want the onions to burn. I love a warm caramelization. She's hot. So we're gonna cook those about 4 to 5 minutes just to make sure that they have a really nice cook through before we add anything else, like I said. So stay tuned, I'll be right back.
Flashback. End of flashback.
All right, our onions are almost cooked through. So this means we are adding the jalapeno next. Now listen, the jalapeno is gonna depend on your level of kick and spice that you want. We are in Texas, so everything's a little bit spicier. Now, I did go ahead and I did cheat the system just a little bit. I decided to get the pre-diced jalapeno to save me just a little bit of time. Now, I am not gonna be shy. I want a little spice to mine. So we're gonna use probably about half the container. I feel like that's a pretty reasonable amount. We're gonna let this sit in there for just about a minute, just enough to get everything flavored again before we go ahead and add in our spices. All right. All right, so again, we have some chili powder and we have our cumin. Again, this is gonna depend on how much of a kick you want from that chili powder. I'm not gonna measure. It does say about a teaspoon of each of these, but I kind of just go off of how many shakes I'm really feeling today. So we're gonna add a good amount to what's already in here. Go ahead with our cumin. Let me know if you want these really cool containers because they're all labeled. Helps me in the kitchen a little bit. Gonna go ahead and mix this around a little bit to get the flavor. I really wish that you could smell what I smell through the camera. Technology will get there, right? Right, so next is adding in the rest of the combination of ingredients. Now, I know that you can't see beyond the pot, but I did prep everything. The beans are already washed and dried, rinsed. Corn, all of the rest of the containers are open. So now it's all about pouring everything in. So we're gonna go ahead and start with our chicken broth. I already got the 4 cups. It's 32 ounces of chicken broth. Again, use whatever brand that you're wanting to use. Hear that sizzle? All right, and again, another cheat that I did is we bought a rotisserie chicken and pre-shredded everything as well. So we're gonna go ahead and put this in as well. Be careful not to splash. It's a little warm on top of that stove. Set this aside. Next, we're gonna go ahead and add our white beans. Again, like I said, this is already something that I drained and pre-rinsed. This is a total of 2 cans, unless you go ahead and get a big one. Make sure that you're getting the amount that is recommended. Next, we're gonna go ahead and add our corn. We're gonna add our green chilies, and the salsa verde. It's gonna have a kick to it, y'all. Your enchilada sauce. And of course, we can't forget the salt and pepper and oregano. Again, season to taste. Not everybody likes it equally as salty as you. Or maybe you like it really salty. I remember my grandpa used to always put salt on like everything he possibly could. It was so funny. And you know what? He lived until he was, I think, 93 or 94, so can't hurt you as bad as they say it does, right? All right, I am going to actually just use what I was already mixing with. Now go ahead and give it a good mix to combine. And the next step is just to bring this back up so we can get this boiling. And we are going to reduce the heat after it gets to a boil. So then that way it can set and really enhance its flavoring with about 20 minutes on the stove before we add in all of the cheeses. And we'll go from there. So I'm gonna bring this to a boil. I'm gonna let it set for 20 minutes and then I will see you so we can add in the final cheese portions to melt in and we can enjoy this dish of soup together. We have officially sat for 20 minutes, so it's time to go ahead and put our 2 cheeses in, which is the cream cheese, about 4 ounces, and then the Monterey Jack. Again, if you like a little less cheese or a little bit more, add whatever you wish. We are boiling. This smells absolutely delicious. So I'm gonna take my cream cheese and I'm gonna plop that in there. And I'm also gonna take the Monterey Jack. And we're gonna give this just a couple of minutes to kind of melt in there. Probably if you want the cream cheese to melt faster, you can go ahead and dice it up a little bit into smaller chunks. And I'm gonna let that sit for just a minute or 2 just to get a good melt on. I'm gonna put the cover back on, which happens to be a little hot.
A few moments later.
All right, guys, it is officially time to try our white bean chicken enchilada soup, and I am so excited. I've been sitting on my couch over there while we were waiting, letting it soak in all of the flavors and the spices, and it smells so good. So we are going to take a little bit out just because I know it's gonna be super hot. I have my bowl already ready. Like I said, guys, this is perfect for this season of football and fall, and so easy. Honestly, guys, you could probably do this in the crock pot too. If you don't have time to let this set and enjoy, you know, the time of cooking with fam, just put it in the crock pot. Let it sit all day. All right, this is really hot, so I'm gonna give it a couple of seconds to rest so I don't, you know, sabotage my taste buds with too hot of something. We're gonna give it a nice blow to cool down. Should have gave some earlier behind the scenes, but we're gonna try it anyways. Wow. Oh, this is a hearty soup, guys. She's temperature hot, but boy, that is delicious, y'all. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be my go-to soup. Oh, this is so good. I'm so sorry you can't be here now eating with me, but I hope you make this soon. Thank you so much for coming and spending just a couple of minutes with me to cook our newest recipe, the chicken enchilada soup, the white bean version. Of course, I hope to hear how you enjoy this recipe with your family and friends this fall. Have a great day.